Hey everybody, welcome to this English listening practice video. You can use this video to train your listening and comprehension as I speak. Today I am going to talk about language learning. If you are watching this video, you are probably learning English. So I hope this is an interesting topic for you. Language learning is hard, and if you learn a language, you need to spend a lot of time studying. This is the most important part of learning a language. Time. If you don't spend a lot of time studying, you won't learn English. Language learning takes time. I am a language teacher, but I am also a language learner. The first thing I want to talk about is how many people speak this language. Well, almost 400 million people speak English as their first language. These people are native English speakers. Most of these speakers are in US, of course. But there are many other English-speaking countries, obviously countries like UK, Australia, Canada, and Ireland. There are also a lot of countries where people speak English. For example, English is the major language of Belize, Guyana, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and other countries too. In every country, there are people who are learning English. We don't know exactly how many people speak English as a second language, but there are a lot of. Okay, let's talk about the history of English. The first form of English appeared in the 5th century AD. Today we call this early English Old English. Old English was very different from modern English. In the 11th century, Old English became Middle English. Middle English is a little closer to the modern English, but it's still very different. Finally, modern English began at the end of the 14th century. But English looks a little different from the English of the past few centuries. Another important thing to know about English is that other languages have influenced it a lot. So, which languages? Well, for example, some experts say that almost 30% of English words come from Latin and almost 30% of English words comes directly from French. That means there are almost 60% of modern English words comes from Latin and French. That's a big influence. Also, around 6% of English words come from Greek, and there are many words from other languages too. But what language family does English belong to? English is a Germanic language. That means English is related to languages such as German, Dutch, and Swedish. However, English speakers can't understand these other languages. English is related to these languages, but they are very different. For example, Americans who only speak English can usually understand much more Spanish than German. That seems strange because English and Spanish are not related. But English and German are related. The reason why English speakers can understand many words from Spanish, French, and Italian is because these languages have many cognates. Cognates are words that have the same origin. For example, in English we have the word patience, and in Spanish this word is paciencia. These words look very similar because they are cognates. All right, now I am going to ask some questions about the video to see if you understood. Write your answers in comments down below. Number 1. When did Old English appear? Number 2. What language family does English belong to? And number 3. What are cognates? Before leaving, you are requested to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more updates.